And now, an update on that developing story. Just moments ago, President Trump made a post on his Truth Social platform, stating, "Following extensive overnight negotiations facilitated by the United States, I'm happy to report that India and Pakistan have come to an agreement for a full and immediate ceasefire." He further added, "Congratulations to both nations for demonstrating common sense and exceptional intelligence." At this point, it's important to note that neither the Indian nor the Pakistani governments have issued official statements on this matter yet. However, the president's announcement is now public via his social media. This ceasefire comes after a significant spike in violence over recent days, triggered by a militant attack in late April that left 26 people dead. Since then, tensions escalated sharply, with missiles reportedly exchanged across the border. Earlier today, we knew that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio had spoken separately with Pakistan's Army Chief, General Asim, and the foreign ministers of both India and Pakistan. He had offered U.S. assistance to initiate what he termed constructive and productive dialogue. Now, with President Trump's declaration on social media that a ceasefire has been reached, we have a potentially major development on our hands. But I must stress that this statement is currently coming only from the U.S. president. No confirmation yet from India. Nonetheless, this would mark a significant step forward. Global leaders have repeatedly called on both countries to exercise restraint and engage in de-escalation, calls echoed by the UN Secretary General. This morning in Pakistan, the army claimed that 3 military bases had come under attack, prompting them to launch Operation Maroos, which translates to Iron Wall. So, a ceasefire now would represent a major turning point. The Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs released a statement on X. The foreign minister confirmed that Pakistan and India have agreed to a ceasefire, effective immediately. He reiterated Pakistan's commitment to peace and regional security, while emphasizing the importance of preserving sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs released a statement on X. The foreign minister confirmed that Pakistan and India have agreed to a ceasefire, effective immediately. He reiterated Pakistan's commitment to peace and regional security, while emphasizing the importance of preserving sovereignty and territorial integrity. This is the first official confirmation from either party, and we can expect more details soon. For now, Pakistan's stance is clear. The origins of this latest flare-up go back to an attack in Indian-administered Kashmir in Pahalgam, where 26 people, mostly tourists, were killed. India blamed Pakistan-based militants, which Islamabad denied, calling instead for an open investigation. The back-and-forth blame and lack of dialogue made resolution extremely difficult. Earlier, both sides insisted that they were only responding defensively. Each accused the other of targeting civilians and violating ceasefire norms. In the meantime, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Senator J.D. Vance have confirmed they were involved in back-channel diplomacy with both nations over the past 48 hours. Rubio now says that India and Pakistan have agreed to hold comprehensive talks at a neutral location. Azaid, tell us how pivotal the U.S. role has been here. The central question throughout was which country could apply the right kind of diplomatic pressure. The U.S. has long-standing ties with both India and Pakistan, though relations with Pakistan had cooled in recent years. Donald Trump's inclusion of Pakistan in his State of the Union address, particularly around counter-terrorism efforts, signaled a potential warming of relations. Still, there was skepticism about how involved the U.S. would want to be, given its more domestic focus. Despite those doubts, the gravity of the recent escalation appears to have prompted more direct involvement. As Secretary Rubio noted, intensive calls were made with senior officials on both sides. While we still await India's formal response, the U.S. and Pakistan now both confirm a ceasefire agreement is in place. Rubio also mentioned upcoming talks between the two nations at a neutral venue, addressing broader concerns, especially the decades-long dispute over Kashmir. Rubio also mentioned upcoming talks between the two nations at a neutral venue, addressing broader concerns, especially the decades-long dispute over Kashmir. The most intense moment came on the night of May 6th, when India said it had carried out airstrikes on what it called terrorist camps in Pakistan, hitting not only areas in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, but also deep into Punjab province. Pakistan condemned this as a severe escalation. It's worth emphasizing. Both sides claim to be retaliating, and both deny initiating attacks. Accusations have flown back and forth over civilian casualties and violations of sovereignty. While this current conflict is recent, the underlying tensions go back decades. India and Pakistan have fought multiple wars over Kashmir, the most serious recent one being in 2019. That time, both nuclear-armed nations narrowly avoided a full-scale war. Many here believe this current conflict has been the most dangerous since then. On the ground, reactions vary. In cities like Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad, many residents told me they weren't overly worried, saying such tensions are almost routine. But near the line of control, the situation is very different. Residents in places like Lipa Valley have spent nights sheltering in bunkers due to heavy crossfire. While many said they weren't afraid, they admitted the intensity was unlike anything in recent years. That decision will ultimately rest with those three nations. But China is another major player in the region, particularly because it controls part of the disputed Kashmir region and has significant economic interests in Pakistan, including large-scale mining and infrastructure projects in Balochistan. China has urged de-escalation in recent days but has avoided directly criticizing India. The same goes for other global powers and the UN. Earlier this week, Secretary General Antonio Guterres emphasized the need for maximum restraint. It's hugely significant. Over the past days, there were fears of full-scale war. Despite global calls for restraint, India and Pakistan weren't communicating, not even through their national security channels. It's hugely significant. Over the past days, there were fears of full-scale war. Despite global calls for restraint, India and Pakistan weren't communicating, not even through their national security channels. So from a period marked by artillery exchanges, drone attacks, and rising civilian casualties, to what now looks like the first step toward peace, this is a dramatic shift. As of now, only Pakistan and the United States have publicly acknowledged the ceasefire. We're still waiting to hear from India. But the speed of these announcements suggests diplomacy has gained some ground, at least for now. Certainly, there have been reports, unconfirmed by Pakistan, that India is moving troops closer to the line of control. What both sides do confirm is that there has been intense shelling and gunfire in recent days, with casualties reported on both ends. They dispute the numbers and the areas targeted, but clearly, the fighting has been fierce. And given the deep history and emotional weight of the Kashmir dispute, tracing back to 1947, it only takes a small spark to ignite a broader confrontation. Both countries are nuclear armed, which ideally should serve as a deterrent. But history shows that even nuclear powers can find themselves on the brink if diplomacy fails. If you find this video informative, don't forget to subscribe to WizzyFacts. See you all in the next video.